Hello everyone and welcome back to another LEGO Star Wars review. Today we're going to take a look at some more sets from the Battle of Yavin, which of course took place during Episode 4 A New Hope. This particular set is sort of a cross between a set from A New Hope and Return of the Jedi due to some of the minifigures that are included, but it is one of the Galactic Empire's mighty fleet, and it is this one. Set number 9492, and it is of course the Imperial Tie Fighter. Very, very cool set, definitely one of my favourites. This one consists of 413 pieces, so it's a nice substantial build. Retails for $49.99, so a substantial price to go with it, and it comes with 4 minifigures as well. As you can see from the side of the box, we get a brand new Death Star Trooper, we also get a TIE Fighter pilot, an Imperial Officer, and the astromech droid R5 Jato. So nice character selection, and the set itself is very nice as well. Obviously on the back we have a rundown of some of the scenes that you can recreate using this set, and a rundown of some of the vehicle's features as well. This one does of course come with an instruction manual as well, which guides us through the building process of the TIE Fighter. And once again, if you check out the link in the video description, I've included a link to download these instruction manuals if you happen to lose any of them. So there we go. Right, before we jump into the set, let's take a look at the minifigures that are included with it. First up, we have my overall favourite figure from this set, and that is of course the Death Star Trooper. This is a very, very nice figure indeed, and in my opinion definitely one of my favourites from the set, and probably one of my favourite minifigures overall as well. I love the design of this one, just the way it looks, absolutely fantastic, very, very well done, and an incredibly well made figure. I'll run through some of the accessories first, just repositioning my chair, bear with me. Ugh. There we go. Right, so we have this very cool, uniquely sculpted helmet first up. We also get a blaster rifle as well. Some incredibly well applied printing on the torso and the head, and if you remember back to my LEGO Planets Series 2 reviews, when I gave you a look at the ATST and the Planet Endor, then you may remember that the pilot from that set did indeed come with this same head. So it does have 2 prints applied to it. We've got this one on the front which has the goggles covering the face, which looks very, very cool. Don't particularly remember seeing any Death Star Troopers like this in the films, but I may have not been looking hard enough. But the one that I prefer to have in place is of course when you remove the helmet and rotate the head. We've got just a standard facial expression underneath with a very mean and quite annoyed looking facial expression printed on the front there. But a very, very cool figure. As I said, definitely my favourite from this set. He's easily the most unique figure and definitely the best designed in my opinion. So that's the Death Star Trooper. Next up we have his buddy, the Imperial Officer, which again is a fantastic figure as well. This one just has one print applied to the face. That's a very smarmy, rather cocky look. He's also got the Imperial cap, and obviously on the print there he's got the rank code, the belt and the cylinders in the pockets. And this guy doesn't come with a weapon unfortunately, so if any rebels get hold of him he's pretty much screwed. But there he is, fantastic figure, and when you pair him up with the Death Star Trooper you've got a very formidable team there. Certainly a team of Imperials that I would not want to cross. If I was a LEGO minifigure of course. There we go, those are 2 of the very cool minifigures included. The next one we have is of course the man who's going to be flying this ship into battle, and it is of course the TIE Fighter pilot. This is actually my second version of this figure. I was lucky enough to pick up the TIE Interceptor with the Death Star from the LEGO Planets range, and there's a TIE pilot included with that as well, so I now have 2 of these guys, and they're very, very cool. Love the helmet on this one. It is a repaint of the AT-AT driver helmet, obviously just done in black, and of course you've got the Imperial insignias there on the top. You've also got the chest apparatus printed there onto the torso, And if you remove the helmet, you've got that standard Imperial Trooper head underneath, which has been used on minifigures such as the Stormtroopers, Sandtroopers, who have I said so far? Stormtroopers, Sandtroopers, Snowtroopers, lots and lots of other minifigures as well. And again, he comes with no weapon either. But when he's flying a TIE Fighter around, I guess the cannons on that thing are the only weapons that this guy's going to need. So 3 very cool Imperial Trooper type minifigures with this set. How well you can see all of those, but there we go. Very, very cool indeed. Great selection of figures. And the final figure in this set is another astromech droid, and it's this little guy, R5J2. Now if you remember back to my Gold Leaders Y-Wing review, then you'll know that this guy is just a repaint of the standard R5 units. Obviously this one's been given a black deco with some really cool details printed on there, obviously to indicate that this one belongs to the Galactic Empire. And I believe that this guy was seen in Return of the Jedi as opposed to A New Hope. Don't take that as gospel, I may be mistaken, but I seem to remember the card back of the action figure from this guy indicating that this guy was from Return of the Jedi. So a nice little homage to the 30th anniversary of that film there. So those are the minifigures. Now let's take a look at the set itself. I'm going to zoom out for you for the time being because the wingspan on this thing is very impressive. And here it is. Really, really cool set. Big fan of this one. I did indeed have a TIE Fighter made by Lego previous to this. I believe it was released in around 2001. And it came with a Darth Vader with a little light up lightsaber, which was really cool, and I still have that today actually. Don't have the TIE Fighter anymore, so it was easily enough to replace. This is easily the definitive version of the TIE Fighter as well, in my opinion. The detail, the overall execution of this vehicle is absolutely fantastic, and Lego have done an amazing job on it. So there's an overall look at the vehicle in full shot. Now let's zoom in on this one just to take a look at some more of those details. So what I'm going to do first is obviously I'm going to focus on this part of the vehicle to begin with, and what I'm going to do just while I do that is I'm just going to remove one of the wings, and that's just to let a bit of extra light in there and give you a better look at some of that detail. Before I take a look at the cockpit area of the vehicle, I just want to point out that the connectors to the wings that are attached to the cockpit are made of red, blue and yellow pieces, which is quite a weird choice in my opinion. Obviously you don't see these pieces when the wing is applied, but surely it would have made more sense to have included black and grey pieces in this section. But that's just my opinion, and that's me being very very picky. But there we go anyway. I hope you're getting a good look at the cockpit area. Obviously the window has a very cool print applied to it, as does the top of the vehicle as well. In Star Wars canon this would obviously be the area where the TIE pilots enter the vehicle. However, since this is a Lego set and not a screen accurate replica, Lego have altered that ever so slightly so you get easier access to the cockpit area, and that's just on a hinge which you can open up like so, and inside there is of course a seat and a control panel for your TIE Fighter pilot, which I'm just going to grab from my selection of minifigures, and I'm going to stick him in there just to give you a look at him flying this vehicle. Obviously there's nothing that says that you can't include other minifigures in the cockpit. I'll just give you a better zoom in on that. But obviously the TIE Fighter pilot is the more logical figure to include in there. So I hope you're getting a good look at that. Obviously the control panel is on a hinge, so you can reposition that, and the translucent piece of red plastic there does look very cool indeed. So there we go. Got some very cool detail around the cockpit area as well. As you can see, there are 2 firing projectiles on the bottom. If you're familiar with Lego sets, then you'll know that these are just flick missiles that you just push at the back and they will fire out. And then you can proceed to close the cockpit at the top and then fold down the window as well. And there we go. that's the cockpit section of the vehicle. If we reapply the wing now, I'll give you a look at some of the details on those. As I said at the beginning of this review, this vehicle does indeed retail for $49.99. I don't particularly think that's worth it because it's a very repetitive build. Obviously most of the focus is in the wing, or wings should I say, and they're both the same. So you're basically building the same thing twice with this one, and then of course you're building the cockpit area as well. So there's really not a great deal to this set, and that's why I don't particularly think it's worth $49.99, especially when the X-Wing and the Y-Wing cost the same price, and they're much, you know, more exciting to build, if you will. It's a cool looking ship, don't get me wrong, the finished product looks fantastic. I just think that as a building toy, this one doesn't offer a great deal. Don't get me wrong, some of the attention to detail on this set is stunning. The way the wings have been structured just looks absolutely fantastic, even down to the centerpieces there on the wings themselves. And of course when they're applied to the cockpit area to complete the article, this is a fantastic ship. It really does look very cool. So not a great deal to say about the set itself. For me the sale is in the minifigures, as some of the characters included with this ship are superb. The set itself is nice to get, obviously, because I'm a big fan of the Empire, but in terms of a LEGO product, it's not one of the most exciting to build, and I just don't really think it's worth all that much, if I'm being honest. I was lucky enough to pick this up at a cheaper price, so if you can do the same, I'd highly recommend you do so. So there we go, that is the TIE Fighter. Hope you've enjoyed having a look at this vehicle, and I'll be back with another LEGO review for you very soon. I've got the X-Wing to give you a look at, plus a whole load more LEGO sets as well. Also got some Hasbro figures and vehicles to do for you. Tons more coming, so stay tuned for many more videos. Until then guys, I want to thank you for watching this review. As always, keep collecting, and may the Force be with you.